What is going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. Spurs 3, RZ 1. Here at the end of the game, you can see a completely empty stadium. Thank you to Sidders, by the way, for hooking us up with the lounge suite seats. But anyway, big up to Sidders. Just wanted to say that. But Spurs 3, RZ 1. It was a really good performance, I think, in general. Again, not our best. We weren't amazing, I think it's fair to say. But I think we deserve to go through. I think there was a few points we were nervy, a few points it looked like we were going to be struggling, but we ended up getting through at the end of the day, and we ended up with a 3-1 win, and that's the main thing, into the quarterfinals. I think having Romero and Van der Ven, I think it's clear for everyone to see what a difference those two make to our back line. I think you could see when Van der Ven went off on 60 minutes, after a minute we'd conceded and made a mistake. What a calming presence those two make in the back line. And I think RZ really was struggling with those two when they were in the back, and I think they really struggled to basically get through us. I think Van der Ven was doing what he always does, mopping up in behind. Didn't have to do too much sprinting, I think, it's fair to say. I think he wasn't covering all that space like sometimes he does. I thought we had a lot of control of the game. And Romero was being his aggressive best. I thought he was stepping in. I thought he was getting in front of all the other Troy Parrott whenever he was looking to get the ball into feet. And they couldn't handle Romero and Van der Ven. They didn't know how to get past them. I thought Spence and Porro on either side of them were doing a good job as well. But I think mainly, especially for the first hour, Romero and Van der Ven were definitely our best players. And it's no surprise what a difference it makes when you've got your first choice centre-backs and they're that quality of Van der Ven and Romero. It doesn't surprise me what a difference those two make. First half was a weird game, I have to say. I think both sides were really nervous. I think you can see that. I think we tried to kind of look positive without actually doing much, not many shots in that half. In fact, we actually scored with the first shot of the game after 25 minutes. There was a very first shot of the whole game. Wilson Odobert pouncing on a mistake by the RZ defenders, which obviously Son was closing down, obviously doing the pressing. He was closing down the RZ right back. He blocked the pass, fell to Solanke, which I have to credit Solanke, had the presence of mind to pick out Odobert. I think a lot of strikers in that position would have shot. He didn't. He wasn't selfish. He picked out Odobert, and bam, it's 1-0. And I think we had a couple of moments after that, but first half was a very cagey affair, I think it's fair to say, for both teams. I think both teams really struggled to assert themselves in the game, create good quality chances. I think both teams were kind of feeling each other out in our first half. We obviously got the goal from a mistake, but I don't think it was like a vintage Tottenham display. We didn't create too many. I think the biggest positive from that first half was I think we were able to keep them at bay. We didn't really concede any chances. Compare that to the first half of the last leg. RZ, I think it's night and day. Obviously RZ were causing us tons of problems in that game, and this one they really struggled to kind of create any sort of openings, which is really, really good when you have kind of the team the way we've been playing over the last few months. I think it's really important that we start finding some defensive solidity, which we kind of haven't seen for a while, and today was definitely, we saw some evidence of it, especially Romero and Van der Ven were there. Second half we started a lot brighter. I think we, obviously with the lead, obviously with Odobert taking that goal really well, we started that second half with that kind of willingness to put the game to bed. Sorry, apologies for, I had a few beers, so if I burp or anything like that, apologies for that. But anyway, second half, started really like a house on fire, started like we wanted to kill off the game, and obviously Maddison gets that goal really early on in the second half, really well taken, good composure. Actually, all started from Maddison himself, turning in the middle of the park. Actually, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, that's the third goal. Second goal, brilliant play from Maddison, getting it out to Sonny. He played it back to Maddison, cuts inside, brilliant finish to the far post, 2-0. You're thinking, we're home and hosed, we've got the lead. Van der Ven and Romero are keeping RZ at bay. They didn't really have much, they didn't really have kind of any sort of looking threatening at all. And the second goal was a really nicely taken on by Maddison, who I thought had a really quiet game before that moment, but I thought the goal really woke him up. So I thought that was a really nice moment from him. Then for the next 15 minutes, we was pretty much looking like Tottenham were going to get a third and we were on top. Didn't really create too many clear-cut openings, but we were the ones making the running. And then there was definitely a kind of a light switch or a flip of the switch moment when Van de Ven goes off on the hour. I think obviously that's clearly Ange Postecoglou being careful with him, only giving him an hour. We saw him do that with obviously Romero on the weekend, and he's kind of managing his minutes with Van de Ven obviously just come back from injury. So he takes him off. I was a bit surprised to see Gray come on instead of Ben Davies. I thought Gray was going to come on and play midfield. I was thinking Sarr was coming off, but obviously Gray came on as centre back. So Gray comes on, and then within 3 minutes, obviously there was a mistake at the back. I thought Gray did quite well, shepherding the RZ striker away from goal. But then Odeberg comes in. He looks like he's done his job. But I think I have to watch it back. But I think it was Bergvall actually who had a brilliant game. I'll get into him in a minute. I think he makes a mistake, allows Koopmeiners in, and they get a goal completely against run of play, completely out of nothing essentially. They get a goal, and you're thinking 2-1. Are Tottenham going to Spurs this up again? Is this going to be one of those games, one of those moments where we're in control and we let it go? But thankfully, after a few more nervy moments, I think it's fair to say, where we're looking a bit shaky at the back, we kind of gained control of the game again. And third goal was a brilliant team goal. Madison in the middle, brilliant turn away from the RZ midfielder. He drives into the space, plays it out wide. Brilliant link up between Son and Spence. Spence gets to the byline across the face to goal. A brilliant back heel from Solanke, and Odeberg's there to tap it home at the back post. And a brilliant third goal. Odeberg was the second of the game. Fair play to him. It's the second goal in the Tottenham shirt. I thought he had a brilliant game overall. Also Odeberg, one of our best players on the day. We did have a scary moment late in the game. Troy Parrott had an effort save from Vicario, who forced a double save when one of the other RZ players was following up, and he was basically made himself big. That was really the only moment RZ had, but it was definitely a scary moment. They could have easily scored, but I thought actually we saw out the game quite professionally and quite well, and deservedly went through. We were the better team, and I'm delighted. I'm absolutely delighted. Obviously all the Anginers, and including myself, we get a stay of execution, I think it's fair to say, with the result performance today. I think today again was a sign of better things to come. It was a sign of things improving. Defensively, much better with Romero, Van de Ven and Vicario as a unit. I think anyone who disagrees with that, I don't know what they're watching, we were much better at the back. I think offensively, stuff to work on, but we got 3 goals. I think a lot of the goals were definitely from right out of the Ange Postecoglou playbook, especially the third one with Odeberg arriving at the back post. So that was really encouraging. When I look at individuals, I just want to shout out Lucas Bergvall. What a guy, what a performance. He is the silkiest centre midfielder, the smoothest centre midfielder I've seen at Tottenham in a long, long time. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Playing in the number 6 in a massive game that we had to win. Basically our season depended on this, and Ange trusted him in that number 6 position, and I think he did not let him down. In fact, quite the opposite, he thrived. I thought he was absolutely phenomenal in that 6th position. He was everywhere off the ball, I think on the ball as well, silky. I think he did a phenomenal job. There was one moment in the middle of the park, he strode past 3 players in the middle of the park when we were kind of under the cosh, looking like holding onto the game. And he takes the ball and just basically dribbles past 3 players overall in that in the middle. That was one of the best moves of the game. Also Odeberg, shout out to him. Brilliant performance on the right wing, which a lot of people said, you know, he's more comfortable on the left, but on the right he got 2 goals, and I thought a really great performance from him on that occasion. I want to see more of him. I think for me, man of the match will go to Lucas Bergvall. Spence had a brilliant game, and I thought Romero and Van de Ven, such a breath of fresh air to see them back at centre-back partnership together. So on to the quarterfinals, on to Frankfurt. Not going to be easy. They've just battered Ajax over 2 legs. They're 3rd in the Bundesliga. It's going to be a tough game. But if we can play like this over 2 legs, I think we've got more of a chance. And hopefully this is a sign of Tottenham building something. It's a sign of things to come. I thought it was much better today, much better solidity, much better aggression. Got the 3 goals, and we got the win in what is a massive game. Massive game for Ange, massive game for the club. We got the win, keep our season going in the Europa League, and let's hope we can go to Frankfurt and get the job done over 2 legs in a month's time. So massive performance, massive game. I'm delighted. I'll see you all tomorrow. I'll be in the studio with Ben where I'm going to absolutely put him in the mud. Put all the Ange hours in the mud. Come on, people. But yeah, look, 3-1. Let's go. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, Spurs.